Did you know the world's most iconic jetliner was born from a boat business? This is the jaw-dropping story of how Boeing went from a Seattle boatyard to building aircraft that connect the entire planet and even reach space. Strap in, aviation addict. We're taking off on a journey through time. It all started in 1916. William Boeing, a wealthy timber entrepreneur with a passion for flight, teamed up with Navy engineer George Westervelt. Together, they built their first aircraft, the B&W Seaplane, a small float plane made of wood, canvas, and wire. Soon after, Boeing founded his company, the Pacific Aero Products Co. But within a year it was renamed to something a bit more familiar, the Boeing Airplane Company. From that moment, aviation history would never be the same. World War I gave Boeing its first real contracts. The U.S. Navy ordered 50 of their seaplanes. But when the war ended, so did demand. To survive, Boeing had to get creative. They built furniture, they built boats, even mailboxes. But William Boeing believed aviation was the future. And he was right. By the late 1920s, Boeing was back, not just building planes, but also starting one of the first airlines, United Aircraft and Transport Company. But the U.S. government soon forced aircraft manufacturers and airlines to separate. So, Boeing focused on what it did best, building airplanes. Then came World War II. Boeing became a key player in the Allied war effort. Their aircraft changed the course of history. The B-17 Flying Fortress was a heavy bomber so tough it could take hits and keep flying. And the B-29 Superfortress? That's the plane that dropped the atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It was a time of innovation, but also a heavy legacy. Boeing had proven it could deliver on a global scale. As the world moved into peace, Boeing looked to the skies. In 1958, they launched the Boeing 707, the world's first successful commercial jetliner. Fast, sleek, and efficient, the 707 kicked off the jet age, making intercontinental air travel faster and more affordable. But Boeing wasn't done. In 1970, they unleashed the Boeing 747, the first ever jumbo jet. This double-decker beast could carry over 400 passengers and revolutionized commercial aviation. Nicknamed the Queen of the Skies, the 747 became a symbol of global connection, and Boeing became a household name. The 1980s and 90s were a golden age for Boeing innovation. They rolled out the 737, which would go on to become the best-selling commercial aircraft in history. Then came the 757, the 767, and the mighty 777, the first airliner entirely designed by computer. In 1997, Boeing merged with McDonnell Douglas, a major move that solidified their dominance over the global market. At this point, Boeing was the undisputed king of the skies. But dark clouds were gathering on the horizon. In 2011, Boeing introduced the 737 MAX, a new, more efficient version of its beloved workhorse. But just a few years later, disaster struck. In 2018 and 2019, 2 MAX aircraft crashed, killing 346 people. The culprit? A flawed automated system called MCAS. Boeing was grounded, literally and figuratively. The company faced investigations, lawsuits, and a devastating blow to its reputation. But Boeing didn't fold. The 737 MAX was recertified with improved safety systems. And Boeing began a long, challenging climb to rebuild trust with passengers, airlines, and the world. Today, Boeing continues to fly forward. With the 787 Dreamliner, they've brought composite materials and fuel efficiency to long-haul travel. They're working on the 777X, one of the most advanced twin-engine aircraft ever built. They've also partnered with NASA and SpaceX to enter the next frontier, space travel, from wooden seaplanes to space capsules, from mail routes to jumbo jets, from tragedy to resilience. Boeing's story is the story of modern aviation. If you've ever flown, chances are it was on a Boeing. Their planes carry over 2.5 million passengers every day. So next time you board a flight, take a moment to look at the logo on the nose. Behind it is over a century of innovation, turbulence, and triumph. Like this video? Smash that like button, subscribe to Aviation Addict, and share this with a fellow aviation geek. We've got more stories from the sky coming soon. Until then, keep your eyes on the horizon, because the sky is never the limit.